video, we're going to talk about some technique tips for sounding the roof, being that lead hook member on a roof team. If you're on that hook, you're generally going to be the first person up the ladder. One thing you can do to set yourself up for success, if you carry the tool with the hook up as you're climbing that ladder, you're going to have to go through the motions of turning that hook over to sound when you're making access. So as I'm climbing that ladder, I like to keep the hook facing down, and then I'm set up for success. I can just go right into sounding. Obviously make sure that you're getting a good assessment of the roof integrity, stability. We're looking for structural members, making sure that it's safe to walk on. Right? Go ahead and step on. And then now that we're up a little bit higher, one thing that I like to recommend is slide this hand in through this D handle. If you reach down here on the handle or the shaft of the hook, it's a little bit easier if you punch through to actually lose control of that tool. You might send it through on the cruise below. And then also you're not going to get quite as much strength down here. If you reach up top into this D handle, you have the tool more secure. You can reach out farther in front of you and get a little bit more force with your sounding. We're going to be sounding on all sides, out in front of us. Feeling for structural members, for any softening or spongy roof feeling. And then another thing that you'll see, a common mistake, is that folks will sound right here in front of them, right next to them. The problem with that is that it doesn't give us any reaction time. So say I sound here, this roof starts to feel spongy or unstable, I'm already on top of that, right? Whereas if I sound out in front, I have more reaction time to back up, either choose a different route across the roof, or to just, leave the roof entirely and make that decision that it's not safe for ventilation. Another thing to consider when we're moving across the roof to access our ventilation point, we want to operate on the strongest parts of the roof, right? So when we're sounding, we're looking for structural members to walk on. We want to walk in straight lines. So on a pitched roof, that's going to be up with the pitch of the roof. We want to avoid the diagonal, the horizontal across that pitch. Stay stacked over those trusses or those rafters. And then obviously you want to, when possible, operate on the strong points of the roof itself. So it's going to be your peaks, your valleys, ridges, hips, right? Your load-bearing walls, anything that's more reinforced in the open span of that truss or that rafter. Picking those strong points is going to be imperative for making sure that we're staying safe and making good access to our ventilation points. So another little technique tip with the rubbish hook. Once we have our ventilation hole cut, if we're reaching through to punch ceiling, if we decide to go with the hook down, we're going to end up with a lot of trouble getting that hook caught on wires, on drywall, and all sorts of stuff like that. So good practice is to flip your hook over and use the D handle to punch through that ceiling. And then similar to how we're sounding, we're going to slide our hand through that triangle on the end of the hook. That's going to prevent us from losing our tool. If we punch through that ceiling and lose our grasp, we're hung up there. Another thing that you'll sometimes see, a common mistake, is folks will do that with the hook towards them. We obviously want to make sure we're protecting ourselves, preventing any injuries. So if you're punching through ceiling, flip that tool over, turn the hooks out and away from you. That's just going to protect you from catching that on your gear, ripping your hose off, anything like that. Punch through the ceiling, make sure that we go through all of the rafter base. We're trying to open up that ceiling as much as possible and get the most lift for our crew's interior and victim's interior.